Hi, back. Pretty Little Liars, Season 3, Episode 6, Review. Now, I'm just going to quickly get into this because I got 2 pages of notes. Ain't this a blip? Anyway, so Spencer and Hannah, they're at the hospital where Garrett's mom is at, and they decide to switch the note that Spencer found on Garrett's mom. So Hannah forges it, and she was like, oh yeah, I've been forging my mama's signature since... Did she say 7th grade? I was like, why does that not surprise me, Hannah? A little heathen. Anyway, so she goes to put the note in the same place where the old one is, and I'm guessing Garrett's mom goes into cardiac arrest. Heart attack, cardiac arrest. Okay, same thing. She just stops breathing. And then next thing you know, Hannah and Spencer, they go flying out of the room just as the nurse and people are showing up. I keep thinking to myself, aren't there security cameras in a hospital? But anyway, back to what I was saying. Spencer, she's spending all this time looking up April Rose. She keeps thinking that it's a person, but you find out later in the episode that April Rose isn't a person. It's actually a thing. It's a place. So she was looking all that up, and then Spencer's dad shows up. And, well, actually, freeze. Before Spencer's dad shows up, Toby is there. And I haven't mentioned this in any reviews, but y'all, I love myself some Toby. He's just so good looking. I just want to kiss him. I just want to fly through the screen, slap Spencer over, and be like, Toby, no, Toby, you don't want that. Hello, my name is Courtney. How are you? I'm telling y'all, if I could make that happen, I would. But back to this. So she and Toby, they kissing all up on each other and everything. Dad walks in, and they, of course, quickly stop all that foolishness. Don't want to do that in front of the parents. So then Toby gets up and he leaves. And I was like, Toby, don't go. But he did. Spencer and her dad start talking about the case, and apparently something about the physical evidence that would have been influential for the case, it can't be retested. And Spencer's like, but if it was positive before, what does it matter if it's going to need to be retested? But apparently it just can't anymore, and that really makes her agitated. So she leaves, and she goes, and Jason walks up. And they're just talking, and Spencer's dad apparently followed her. And I believe she started talking to Jason about the NAT club, which he didn't know that she knew about. And then she mentions, do you know someone named April Rose? And he said no. And she was like, well, could it have been one of the girls from one of your videos that y'all made? And he was like, I didn't shoot those. And she said, yeah, but I'm pretty sure you watched them. With a little less attitude. But, that's just me repeating what she said. And he said, I mean, she could have been, but I'm not 100% sure. So eventually they walk away from each other, and then I know that Spencer's dad confronts Jason about, leaving Spencer out of everything, although she's already in it. I mean, she is a part of this from, the jump. So I was like, Dad, sit down. Go somewhere. Sit down. I mean, he's looking after his daughter, but sit down. So then Aria, sweet little cute Aria, I love her. She misses a sock, okay? She's looking for her sock and her shoe under the bed. Then she goes into Mr. Ezra's sock drawer, and what does she find? Mr. Broketail got a bunch of money and a plastic baggie in his sock drawer. Yes, Mr. Broketail got some money. Now, where'd that money come from? We don't know yet, because Aria, as soon as he comes out of the shower, I'm smelling really good now. She just up and leaves. She's just like, gotta go to work, bye. And he's just looking like, okay. So, from the moment I saw that money, I was a little confused because, the man didn't have a job, so what's going on? And why was it the way that it was, set up in the drawer? Then I remembered the $50,000 reward that Jason was offering. And I forgot to mention this in one of my reviews, but at the end of episode 4, or near the end, Jason, you see him actually writing a check for the $50,000. So he does end up giving somebody the money. So yeah, I forgot to mention that in one of the reviews. So I need to stop doing that. This isn't the circus. So Hannah, she's still sorting out clothes at the church, and apparently there's a party. And on the note that she and Spencer left under Garrett's mom's little hospital bracelet, said to meet them at the church at near the altar or near the organ or something. And when Hannah finds out there's a party there that night, she's like, oh, this is perfect. We can be there even while the party's going on. Even though technically she didn't want to go in the first place. So, apparently, Hannah's mom, she's also going to this party. And Hannah mentions that she and Toby are going, and her mom is like, are you doing this to get back at Caleb? Because you guys broke up. I mean, are you going to use Toby to make him jealous? And at first I was like, Hannah, lie better. Lie better. This show is called Pretty Little Liars. If you can't lie in a show called Pretty Little Liars, there's a problem. So, I mean, guys, I know it's scripted, okay? But I'm just saying. So she talks to Spencer, and Spencer's like, okay, fine, I'll convince Toby to go. And that happens. So, I cannot read my handwriting. Oh. Emily, she goes to this place. She has the address on a piece of paper. She starts having flashbacks like crazy. I mean, crazy, crazy flashbacks. Obviously, that's where she was when she just was completely wasted, can't remember everything. And while she's there, she sees someone's wrist. Why am I going this way? Someone's wrist, and it has like this tattoo. It looked like a tattoo to me. And it was in a certain design. And she just sees a whole bunch of stuff. And eventually she does leave the diner. And like I said before, Spencer and Jason were talking and everything about the April Rose person or whatever it was. Jason comes up to her and says, April Rose isn't a person. It's a thing. It's an it. So they go to this antique shop. And that antique shop, I'm sorry, I like antiques to a certain extent, but when there are just antiques and mannequins and things looking at me, I get creeped out. So my spine was already kind of shaking a little bit while they were doing that scene. So they're looking around, and I'm guessing that wasn't a real woman that was going like this with the earphones in her head. Y'all remember that. But the owner actually shows up, and they talk about, we need to get something for a friend of ours who could have been dropped off. Spencer goes towards this mannequin that's, like this or like that. I can't remember. Around the mannequin's arm is Allison's anklet. So Spencer has a flashback, and she and Allison were going to watch a movie that night, and Allison had the anklet around her ankle, of course. And then, of course, Allison, she's all like, oh, but I'm going out and stuff. And Spencer's like, you always do this. We never spend time together. And all that. So, when Jason comes over and Spencer shows him the anklet, they need to take it with them and turn it in. And the store owner was about to not let them, but then, of course, Jason, he's got all this money. He forks over. Actually, that's a good point. Jason does have a lot of money. No, let's not go there yet. Anyway, he forks over $400 for the anklet. They turn it into the police. And going back to the party at the church, Hannah's mom is flirting with Ted, the man that she obviously met. And when they're there, she jokes about there not being alcohol. She's wearing kind of a low-cut dress, showing some of that cleavage. Excuse the breast grab, but, I just had to emphasize she was showing the cleavage. And come to find out, Ted's a pastor, and you can tell the look on her face. She's like, I was joking about alcohol. I'm wearing this revealing dress. This is just horrible. And I was like, well, if you knew he was a pastor, what were you going to be? Not yourself or something? Which probably would have been the answer. She probably would have worn a dress that was all the way up to her neck with, long sleeves and would have been so content drinking some Kool-Aid or something. So, that was that. Wilden shows up. And Hannah goes into the... She goes into the room where she said to meet the person. Wilden shows up. Apparently, the nurses found the note and they turned it into the police. That plan backfired. Let me see. Holden shows up at the church also, and Emily, she shows up too. Holden has a tattoo. It's not a tattoo because he like rubs it off. Something about, I guess, a club or something. I think Maya was a part of it too. And it's the same drawing that Emily saw in her flashback. And then the flashback becomes more, and she sees the back of the person's head. The back of the person's head looked like Holden's head to me. And let me see here. Well, that was the end of page 1. Let me see. Spencer talks to Jason about wanting to see the letters that were written about the family. And Jason, I think he agreed with that. I already mentioned that. Let me mention the anklet last. Aria and Mr. Fitz, she finally confronts him about the money that she found. And he said that he sold a car. And the person paid up in cash. Aria believes it, but then Mr. Fitz looks back at the drawer in a weird way. So I don't think he told Aria the truth. That's just me. That's just how I feel. And then he wanted to get upset with her for looking through his sock drawer. She wasn't looking through it. She was just looking for a sock. And the money happened to be there. That's another thing, guys. Stop hiding stuff in your sock drawer. That's the first place that people will look. Hide it in, I don't know, your underwear drawer or something. Next, back to the anklet. Okay, and I'll be done in 1 more minute. Apparently, the anklet that Spencer and Jason turned in, it was Allison's. It had her blood on it, but someone else's blood. But that blood was not Garrett's. And they've dropped the case. Spencer breaks down. She's in her room. It was really hard seeing Spencer broken because she seems so strong to me. She seems like a very strong character. Just seeing her break down like that in her room, it just hurt me to see that. And then she gets a text from A. So Spencer basically, she ends up getting a text from A, and the text says something along, I can't read my handwriting, guys. This is chicken scratch, and I'm not about to go look that up. Look, it's been a long day already for me. So I know it says, hey Spencer, something about Garrett isn't their killer. And by their, obviously meaning Allison and Maya. So apparently Garrett was framed. According to that text message that A sent Spencer. This has been my longest review, I believe. But, a lot happened in this episode. So, hey. Hope you guys enjoy. And I promise to stay on top of these a whole lot better now. Because I'm done with summer school. And I can just relax the rest of my summer vacation until I start my junior year of college. So, I'll talk to you guys later. Hope you enjoyed this review. Hope it wasn't boring. And don't forget to subscribe, my lovelies. All right, take care.